one of the biggest things, what the fuck? Greetings, my fellow airsoft nerds. This is gonna get real freaking nerdy because we're gonna go over my loadout and what I'm taking to Milsim West Azeri Assault. Now, I am playing the part of the Militia Company XO. So, I guess I get away with being pretty lazy, I suppose. So, we're just gonna sort of go from one side of the table and work our way over. So instead of a rucksack, I'm just taking a Smersh loadout with a Haley flat pack. This is the 2.0, and that's gonna be my rucksack because for this event, you really don't need a whole lot of shit. The other thing I like about this Smersh over like a big bag rucksack is instead of dudes like cramming certain layers into their rucksack, like I have this as the very bottom, like I can just use these different pouches for different things. So I put like maybe some spare batteries in here. I could do socks and underwear in here. This butt pack is basically gonna be my kitchen where I keep all the food. And in this main compartment, my flat pack, that's where I'm gonna keep my spare clothes and all that other stuff. But I don't need a huge like conventional rucksack for a Milsim West, specifically in George Air Force Base. You don't really need it. On the left side of my Smersh is my modified med card, so I just have like a dog tag on here that has my med card info. Also, in case there's a bunch of other swinging motherfucking dicks that have Smershes that look like this, this one's mine because it has my name on it. Assuming some asshole doesn't take my dog tag off, which case I'll just fucking heel hook them. What I'm gonna have carabined to the back of that quote-unquote ruck is everyone's favorite piece of barracks furniture, the folding stool. My lower back isn't that great these days, so anytime I can sit down, I will. So a couple guys are like, how come you don't take the ones with the backs on them? That's too much shit for me to carry, because I'm too fucking lazy, and you can either just prop these up against a wall or a vehicle, and then boom, there's your fucking back support. I'm about 6 foot 215. Actually, the other day I weighed myself at like 220, so I'm kind of having a midlife crisis over that. So I am a thick boy that loves his snacks. Starting from over here, anything I need to cook with, I'm gonna use my awesome Jetboil. This is the Minimo. I decided not to go with the Java model because it was a little thinner than I wanted, and everything I read online said that the Minimo was easier to like general purpose cook things with, so I just went with that. Shout out to the California Army National Guard for giving me this sweet ass thermos. This is what I'm gonna be putting my breakfast tea in. I do have, I think that's Ivan Russian chai tea. I have Russian tea, and I make it in here, I store it in here, and then I have tea for, I don't know, the good part of a day. And I could just sort of sip on this when I feel fucking fancy. If I feel like being even fancier, I will put that tea in a nice cup. Peak Milsim experience involves fire safety. This is actually gonna go to my assault bag. This is a standard fire extinguisher just cause, you know, it's George Air Force Base and sometimes shit just catches on fire because there's meth and crackheads and douchebags all over Victorville. And sometimes they set fires to George Air Force Base in the middle of airsoft games. Bing fucking bang boom, fire extinguisher. I have 3 main meals. One of them is the Alpine Air, that is the Mexican style beef bowl, and then I have 2 mountain houses. I have a chili mac with beef and a chicken teriyaki, and they're both amazing, so that's cool. For snacky snacks on the go, I have these Justin almond butter packs. I have the cinnamon and the honey. They're really good. So these will also go in my assault pack, which I will go over. I've also got some of these cool little Atkins shortbread bars, and one of these will go in my ruck, one of these will go in my assault bag, just because you never know how long you're going to be out in the fucking notional shit. These Peak brownie bites. These are dehydrated brownie bites. They taste kind of like the cookie crumble, like the cookie part of an Oreo. I'm also taking hydration tablets, because you can drink water all day, but at some point you're going to want to replenish your electrolytes, and it's usually kind of hard to get out of solid food. It's usually just easier to get them out of these electrolyte specific tablets. Sleep system is about as bare bitch as it gets. I have a poncho just because you can lay your sleeping bag down on the floors of George Air Force Base, but you're going to want to get like all your COVID vaccines again, probably like a whole second entire series of anthrax shots, and, you know, an AIDS test. So if you don't want to go through all that, just get a damn poncho, put it on the ground so you don't get asbestos in your butthole. I don't feel like opening up my actual sleeping bag. It's just a regular, basic bitch Kelty sleeping bag that I got from REI. And I used it in the Azeri Insurgency, and it did really well, and it got really fucking cold. So I love this thing. It's pretty great. The one thing I did upgrade was I got a One Tigress compression sack, because the sleeping bag itself just came in a regular, like a drawstring bag. I like compression bags because it's easier to keep things smaller and keep a lower profile. But this is gonna clip onto the back of my rucksack anyway, right above my butt pack. The cool shit, right? What's he gonna wear? 2 sets of clothes, usually 3 to 4 pairs of underoos, and I always recommend about 6 pairs of socks, not including the one that you start the game with. You cannot have too many socks, especially at a fucking crusty ass place like George Air Force Base. So going from top to bottom here, we have the, now mind you, I'm Militia, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun. We got the Sambo shirt, yeah, because my Ukrainian judo coach also does Sambo, so it's fun. No militia kit would be complete without this. I don't know how to pronounce this. It starts with a T, and if I try to pronounce it, I feel like I'm just gonna piss off every Slavic friend I ever made. Peak militia loadout has to include an Adidas track jacket. I got the blue and white striped one just because I thought it was funny. It gets super windy at George Air Force Base because it's dumb high desert. So a windbreaker is kind of a must. This is the green one that KWA gave me because I'm an amazing human being and I do amazing KWA human being things. So they gave me a free windbreaker. This thing's actually amazing. I will wear this on the regular as like doing normal people things, as like my day-to-day. I love this KWA windbreaker. But I'm willing to bet that this Adidas track jacket isn't going to be very wind resistant. I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know, I haven't tried it out. But just in case. Also, if I need to add another layer for whatever reason, I can throw one of these on as an outer shell and keep the other one on as an inner. Most likely, I would take the windbreaker on as the outermost shell, and then I could keep, I don't know, the wind out and all that other cool shit. I got 2 pairs of pants. I just dropped BBs on the floor. The one I'm starting the day with is the Leto or the Partisan pattern one from Mortar Tack. I've had these for about 3 months now. They're actually a pretty good quality. I haven't tried to do anything crazy in them, just sort of like playing some weekend pickup games at my own field, wearing them around, passing out drunk in them like a real Russian should. These are pretty dang solid. The other pair of pants I'm taking is, since I'm militia and I can run Woodland BDU, I'm taking the M81. These are Emerson's. These are probably the most comfortable pairs of pants that I have. I might do a video on these specifically. These are not the Yellow Label. I think this came out before Yellow Label. I can't remember. These are the softer ones. I'll do a different video on that. For my comm setup, which will probably fail sometime in the first 24 hours, I'm taking a Baofeng, the UV82s. I've had this for a couple years. This works pretty well for me, as long as, you know, you're in an area that doesn't hate reception. I had this for Overwatch tactics, and it worked amazing. I've used this for regular stuff at my normal field, just as like a field radio. It's amazing. I also splurged a little bit, and come on, son of a bitch. I splurged out a little bit and got the Code Red headset. I don't like any of that weird bone conduction stuff. Look, I'm an old school motherfucker, so just a regular earpiece and microphone, and then the 2-button push to talk setup fucking thing. For my radio, I do have an extended battery. Somewhere either in my office or in my truck or in my room or some damn where, I have another extended battery, but these are the same radios that we use as field radios for my field, so probably just steal a bunch from the field. Inside of my assault pack, I'm running a Camelback bladder bag because, you know, it's hot. Even in October in California. And I like to drink water, and I will probably pop those hydration tablets in there because they're both Camelback, and I don't really have to worry about long-term mold, blah, 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 because I've never had to before. One of the biggest things you need to invest in when you go to George Air Force Base is a good pair of footwear. These are the Mero Moab 2s. I've had these since about April or so. I want to say like early April. I got them for the DFE, for the Desert Fox events that they ran earlier in the year. These things are freaking amazing. The Solomons are just as good. I don't feel like one isn't superior to the other. I got the Moab 2s at REI just because I felt for me they were just more comfortable than the Solomons. I think they were cheaper also. I can't recall. But either one is freaking great. But if you go in Crocs, expect to get AIDS. I got 2 sets of iPro, one for daytime operations, and then I got clears for nighttime operations. I might invest in maybe some Oakley M frames also. I don't know, depends on when I get paid, and it depends on how drunk I get on Amazon late at night. So we'll see how that goes. For face coverage, I'm just gonna rock a Matrix mesh mask. I will probably only do this, or I will probably only put this on once we start going into buildings and stuff like that, but for normal operations, I will probably not be wearing this a whole lot because it is a huge pain in the ass to put this fucking thing on when you have a beard. Anyone about that beard life knows the struggle. I've got a Write in the Rain notepad because I am leadership and I am gonna probably receive taskings and things like that that I'm gonna have to relay, but also a notepad in general is just really freaking handy to have. Even though it's not gonna rain, I like the Write in the Rain notepads because if you put this like in a cargo pocket or in an arm pocket or somewhere and you get super sweaty, those regular like school normal style notepads that aren't water resistant or aren't Write in the Rain, they will get super sweaty, your notes will get all fucked up, it's just a terrible idea. You want the Write in the Rain pads. Always take an actual real-world boo-boo kit to George Air Force Base so you can minimize how much AIDS you get. I wish I had tetanus shots and COVID vaccines in here because I'll probably just get COVID looking at that fucking place, but in the event someone gets hurt, I do have these little gloves in case someone bleeds their AIDS blood all over me, or in case some meth head comes swinging at me trying to cast their High Desert Wizard fireball spells. I have just some gauze, some simple bandages. This is really just a high-speed boo-boo kit. So I have an actual tourniquet in here. Jesus Christ, I hope I don't have to use a real tourniquet at a Milsim West event. But what you do usually have to use in any event is some degree of a boo-boo kit. And that's really what this is designed to be. And this will be in my assault pack, which I haven't told you about because it's on the other side of the table. So hold your little ADD ass on. In my gun, which I haven't showed you yet because it's all the way over there, I will run 11 volt batteries. I have these I have two 1200 milliampere batteries because, you know, it's an AK and the AK battery struggle is fucking real. So you gotta use these skinny boys because those thick boys will not fit in the ENL AK battery slot. Yes, bitches, I did buy a Wendy helmet just for Milsim West. Kiss my ass, that's the kind of guy I am. With Belarus patch, hey. Because I think we're Belarusian militia. I don't know. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. Either way, it's really funny. I bought just a bump because I wanted to film and record and get content, and I don't really trust any of those shitty $40 helmets, or even I don't really trust the PTSs too much. Plus, if you're going to spend almost $200 on a fucking PTS helmet, why don't you just spend $350 and get an actual fucking bump helmet from Wendy and stop being such a casual? I have the Brain Exploder GoPro mount on here because Brain Exploder is my absolute hero and I am so happy that he has a brand new truck. Then on the back is my Aglite counterbalance holder thingy dealy accessory dealy, which is really going to be my USB battery pack running in here, and then my GoPro setup, which is going to include this silicone cover, will pop on boop right into here, and I had to take a single hole punch and punch this out so that I'm not going to be running batteries in my GoPro. I'd show you right now, but I'm using my GoPro literally to film this video. So the wires, I'm just going to basically free record without batteries, that way it doesn't overheat. If you throw the GoPro into a case and you play any longer than about 20 minutes with those diving cases, or like the ones that have no circulation, your shit's gonna overheat and shut down. And then if you're not filming airsoft, why are we even playing airsoft? I printed out a map so I don't get lost. And somewhere I did actually purchase a compass, but I don't remember where the hell it went. And it's not like I'm gonna be calling for fire or giving 8-digit grids anyway. This is done 6-digit grid style, which is perfect. Plus this map has road names, and George Air Force Base still has road signs. So you could go, oh, he says he's on Washington Street. Oh shit, there's Washington Street right there, because it has the fucking sign still. This is the rifle I'm gonna be running. It's an E&L New Essentials AKM. The only thing we did to this crazy motherfucker is we dropped a V3 Titan in it, and other than that, it slaps kids for days. This, I had to wear the spring in a little bit, but it is just dancing on that 395, 398 feet per second with .2's level right now. The trigger response is just beautiful. I've literally done nothing to this except drop that V3 Titan into it, and that's all I need to do, because this thing is fire out the gate. Keep in mind that A, I'm militia, so I don't need to do anything fancy high speed with this rifle, and that B, even if I wasn't militia, this is still pretty much what I would be running anyway, minus like the shirts. Because I'm just doing like a generic Slav, Russian, whatever impression. I'm not doing like an FSB build out. I'm not trying to do like a alpha group from 1980. I don't care, I just want to look like a goofy Slav. This bad boy runs 120 mid caps, and I got 4 of these puppies. My chest rig is just gonna be a Haley, and then I've got a flat pack as my little assault bag, and I'm just keep like snacks, my water, my boo-boo kit, stuff like that in there. Nothing crazy. And that's really it. The chest rig breakdown is pretty simple. Got my cool little patches. I got 3 mags plus my 4th one for my rifle, because you're really not getting into a bunch of crazy BB fights. I have my little comm set up, my little radio in here. I gotta charge my batteries on that one, but it's a very minimalist chest rig setup. I don't use nades, because you can't use nades at this event, and you're not really doing a whole lot. It's just light infantry stuff. So I have my little makeshift med card in here, and I'm also gonna have a paper one just in case. I have my little compass, so I at least always know which way is north, and OGs will recognize this immediately. These are really handy, really convenient, still pretty cheap, and pretty bright, but this is my little red light in here, and that thing's amazing. And that's really, and of course, obviously my tourniquet, but this is really the only thing I need, especially as a company XO.
Caber, who the f*** are you, nerd?